Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your girl Diamond, and I was inspired to come online. I was on TikTok, and there was this girl that was in her car. She was crying, and she was talking about realizing that uh, this is, I'm mixing two videos because they both inspired this conversation. Both of the girls were in their car. So one girl was crying and she was talking about how hard dating was. So when she was crying and she had been with the guy for, I don't want to say a long time. Thank you. Hey Jay, hey Jiggly, Ty. Um, she had been with the guy for a long time and I think like 3 months or something. And she was crying about, how niggas be gaslighting and shit. And so gaslighting and just having normal early relationship dating, early situationships. She had been dating for a minute, all that kind of stuff. So she's crying, talking about how dating is so hard and da 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 da. I was feeling sorry for her and da 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 da. Then this other girl, she too was talking about her dating woes and relationship things. And these two women are in dating phases. So these are not like long term. Um, I've been with this dude for so long. Not that. Early, 1, 2 months, da 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 da. So the other girl is in the car. She's not crying, but she's just down about the situation. So her situation was she's been trying to date this guy. She has his attention, but she's been wanting to spend time with him and he's kind of avoiding the the get together situation. So she was like, at first I was like, maybe he's just not that into me. But then she says, as soon as she's like, oh, okay, he may not be that into me and move on, he's back sending her text messages and talking to her and, engaging with her. So she's like, oh, well, maybe he is interested. Maybe I'm tripping and my low self-esteem or insecurity is triggering and boom. So she says they set up a time to get together and she got all painted and cute and got her hair done and nails cute. And she was like, oh, they had planned a date and he stood her up. And she was like, I feel so shitty because I could have been done with you, but then I done got all pretty makeup and I done got all cute and ready for the date and you're standing me up. And so then she goes into how dating is hard and all that kind of stuff. So thank you, Miss Polk. Hey, Key and Carrie. Hey, Chashawn. How are you? Um, and so she goes into her conversation. And so I was talking to and so I went to Baltimore with my homegirl. And we were also having a little more in depth because we know each other a little bit more um, in depth. But we was having a similar conversation, and I was expressing to her some of the unusual love connection barriers that is specific to trans people. I don't want to say exclusive, but I don't know. I think there's a level of exclusivity. Not saying that other people don't go through a range of this stuff, but I just want to kind of talk through it. I talk through it and tell y'all what I think, and then y'all join in and tell me what y'all think, and or as we go. Y'all know how live works or whatever. So, and it's about all right, so I'm gonna read some things that I some thoughts that I had. So trans trans individuals may encounter challenges in initial meeting phases. um, when they're meeting people, such as, concerns about how or when to disclose that we're trans. Um, if that even, sometimes you can just kind of tell. Sometimes you can't. And you know, sometimes you think people can tell and then they don't. It's just so many things. And that's just the basics. And then there's the safety of it. Like, we got cisgender women out here being shot for turning down numbers. So, of course, a trans person saying she's trans, like Isla Nettles. And, there's like, if you don't know the story, Isla Nettles, she was in, was it Harlem? Somewhere in New York City. And I think it was Harlem. Not 100% for sure. But, but she was walking down the street. Dudes start catcalling her, and in the moment she tells them that, "Oh no, I'm not interested." And then they kept on going, and then she tells them that she is trans in the hopes that it would be like, dude, I'm not interested. I'm trans, but telling the truth. And in that moment, the guy gets angry and bashes her to death. And this is out in the middle in public. And so, a lot of people be like, "Oh, you need to disclose up front." When disclosing up front does not save you from harm. A lot of people like disclose up front because of the lie, the narrative that, oh, trans people are being murdered because they're not telling people they're trans. That is not the truth. I'm somebody who has done the research, has done the data, created a database. Um, um, that's just not the truth. We're not out here getting murdered because somebody is killing us. But but we're navigating our safety when we are deciding to disclose. Also the fear of rejection and negative reaction that goes along with that. For the potential people that we are telling, these can be significant hurdles for people. Just we're talking about just the meeting of somebody as a trans person. These hurdles, just the hurdles of disclosing, the hurdles of safety, all of that thing. And like I said, there are literally cis women being attacked for rejecting men. So it is not like our fear and caring about safety is not unfounded. Like you don't even have to be trans to be harmed. So of course, with the nature of the anti-trans rhetoric going on politically, anti-trans rhetoric going on culturally, just the general anti-trans or transphobic discourse that's happening around the world, or particularly in America, around this country, it's not far-fetched for us to be like, ooh, I might want to disclose in a safe place and not right up front to be safe. Like that has to be rational. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it is something I know people are like, oh, y'all, but the issue is y'all care more about these niggas' egos and these niggas' sexuality than y'all care about our lives. And I'm telling you up front that you can suck my dick. Because my life is more important to me than it is to you. And so I get to decide when I can need to tell somebody I'm trans. Now, I'm not going around, you know, crossing lines, but I am, you know, in my older age. I'm not going around crossing lines and boundaries without spilling my tea, but I get to decide. I get to decide when my business. This is my business. This is my tea. And that's what it is. I don't need nobody else to tell it. I can tell it on my own. Sometimes I choose to, gauge you. I don't even know if I want to fuck you or not yet. So you don't need, and if we not fucking, you definitely don't need to know what's going on with me. And so, because of that, I might need to gauge if we even gonna go there. Because another element is it's not just disclosing as far as safety and you being interested in me. Disclosing is also about Who you going when I do disclose to you, who you gonna tell? I done been fired for jobs 3 fucking times. So you gonna tell people at my job? Are you gonna tell people at this church? Or you gonna be tell people at this other place that's gonna start havoc in my life? And then I'm getting fired and have to go on a host road because I gotta pay my rent. Like, it's not just about your sexuality and you deciding if you want to be down with that. It's about, are you a safe person to know my tea? Are you a safe person that is not going to cause me chaos in my life just because I gave you the courtesy of telling you my tea? It's more than just, oh, this is dangerous. Da, da, da. And let me tell you something too. Look, while I'm on the roll on this disclosed shit. I ain't never, ever, 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 ever been attacked by somebody that I told my tea, just me and them just talking. Most of the time they was down for it. I want to, for me, it's 100%. Eventually, even if they say no in the moment, eventually, if they stay around me, I get them. They end up being curious and fuck around with me. So I ain't never been attacked on no one-on-one basis. You know, when I have gotten attacked by dudes, it is dudes who know my tea, who is trying to save face in front of other people. My tea comes out in front of other people, and they gotta save face and act like a man and puff up their chest and want to try to fight me because my tea came out in an embarrassing way to them. That's when they got violent, because they was toxic, trying to be saved, they masculinity and da 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 da. That's when it happens for me. Now, I don't know about everybody else, but that's when it happens for me. So it ain't nothing about me telling my tea and not telling my tea. It's always niggas who know what's up, and they're trying to save face. Anyway, so that is trans people, even on meeting someone, that is a hurdle when it comes to, um, you know, just maybe finding a partner or somebody good potential person to date. So even that is a hurdle. Additionally, trans people may face like unique obstacles related to finding safe and affirming places to meet others, creating a more inclusive dating. If we create a more inclusive dating experience or dating culture that involves like fostering understanding and respect and openness to diverse identities, it actually be more safe. Because think about it. Most people, how do they meet their partner? So, and we're not talking about, oh, how do I fall in love and find somebody perfect? We talk about just dating and testing people out and testing if you are a good person for me. The dating, how do people usually do that? Work, their social environments. So like work, church, they meet about 45%. I think the statistics is 45% of people meet their partner, their long-term partner, through their friends. Now, imagine how that is social media as well. Even that's really a new thing in the past 20 years. Another element, but imagine that for a trans person. How that takes my likeliness to find somebody down. It feels like we all out here on our own. My homegirls, if they meet a nice guy that they don't feel is good for them, they'll say, "Oh, I think I got a homegirl that would match you. Let me take you out. Me and my homegirl will meet you at a bar." And there can be a love connection between a guy that her friend met at work, or her friend da 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 da. Like they literally can, cis people can literally introduce to people who they think would match, and it can turn out and bloom into something beautiful. They can't, my homegirls, my cisgender homegirls cannot introduce me without introducing the heaviness of transness. Like, we could have an amazing personality, but my mother can't introduce me to some guy that she thinks is amazing at her church. My mother can't, my dad can't meet some dude at his office who is amazing, that'd be great for his daughter, and introduce me to him. the way cisgender people are able to freely date. Now, I'm not saying that it's not hard for cisgender people to find partners, but I'm talking about the chances of you finding a partner in the cultural ways that we do. When it comes to trans people, it just lowers down. Like the normal stuff that people can do to meet amazing people, we don't get the chance to do because of transphobia, because of stigma of transness. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm talking about normal stuff. Now we're not talking about. I'm talking like my mother has been in. When I remember when my mother was younger, she would be introduced to people at work. I can't go to work and just freely date men or men ask me out, because if I go to work and I have to disclose to this dude that I'm trans, now my whole damn job is gonna know that I'm trans if he's not interested. And then, because of the nature of culture, if he is interested, it might just be sexual. And then now it doesn't go anywhere for as far as relationship. It's gonna turn. I literally me telling you I'm trans turns me into a sexual novelty. So even if you're single and looking for a partner, now the idea of me is connected to shemaleism and tranny porn and ooh and chicks with a dick. So I can't even come into this situation as a normal woman. Not saying that I'm a normal woman. I'm a trans woman. I'm a special kind of woman. But there's tons of other kind of special kind of women that don't get the luxury that society is forcing them to just disclose every single thing. There are some things that and I'm just sharing this. I'm not saying, there's some things I know come with the territory that you just gonna have to deal with. You can't get across. But I'm just sharing it so you can think about it. And it can be out here so people can know that this is what we are navigating in this scenario. So I can't date somebody that I meet at work. I can't date somebody, none of my friends and family who know me, who are affirming to my womanhood, um, um, I got that are affirming to my womanhood, who know me as a person, who know intimate parts of me outside of just my transness. They know they know my interests. They know that I like anime. They know that I'm a gamer. They know all these things that they keep a checklist in their mind for potential dates with their friends and da 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 da. Da. But they can't do that with me like they can do with another homegirl or a homeboy. They can't do that with me because my transness get in the way. um Additional, another element, the lack of humanity leads to objectification. I'm sorry. I've been drinking, not drinking alcohol, but drinking it has my saliva glands overacting. I think this is a good time to have a session, but I'm not horny. So I feel like I'm about to slaughter. so so what was I about to say? Okay, yes. So the society stereotypes and misconceptions about us can create it can kind of create these challenges when you're actually trying to connect to people. And this is not saying that cisgender women don't get objectified, but I think that there is a nuance in how men objectify us differently, in a different kind of way. There is a okayness to objectify us and not see our humanity on a surface level. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, for example, this is the best way that I can, another element where I see this nuance come up. All right. So we know that cisgender men are violent to cisgender women. That is not okay in society, in the larger society, but it happens enough to where we know it happens. So it happens enough to where no, it's not okay, but it's a norm to happen. Does that make sense? Am I y'all following me? So when it comes, if we see a video of a dude hitting a cisgender woman, more than likely that ain't the first time you've seen that, right? Like like I've seen videos or incidents where a cis man hit a cis woman. Like I've seen it. Like it's something that common enough where we have all experienced that. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm not saying we just saw the girl, what her name, Ro, just got hit with a brick and nobody did nothing. Black women, we know how that works out. But it is considered chivalrous for other men on a societal level. It is chivalrous. Not saying that all men or all situations that they step up and do this. But if we see a man hitting a woman, it is chivalrous and it is the right thing to do, even for cisgender women, to jump to not, I want to say jump in and fight for her, but at least try to stop this cisgender man from fighting this cisgender woman. Because generally, on a societal level, that is wrong. But I have seen this so many times in videos that have went viral with trans women. When a man hits a trans woman because they don't consider her a woman, the people around, even though violence is not okay, they will literally sit there and stand and do nothing while these men attack a trans woman. And it be okay. Well, and you can hear them vocalizing. You can hear them vocalizing, well, that's a man. He can fight back. And I'm not talking about, do you see what I'm saying? Like there is that nuance where it is actually okay if you, especially because of transphobia and you not believing I'm a woman, it is okay. You see that I've been in domestic violence situations like that, where when the police come and they assume that this is a man beating up a woman, he can weaponize my gender identity against me. He can say, that's not no woman, that's a man. And if these cops are transphobic, they could leave the scene and he continue to be my ass. Do you see what I'm saying? That nuance. I'm not saying that cisgender women don't get attacked, but the response to our attack because of the intersection of misogyny, transphobia, homophobia, where we sit as trans women, and racism as Black women, where we sit at an intersection of that makes our oppression and our response and people's response in that situation very different. Very, very different. Are y'all following me? Does that make sense? Does it sound off? Are anybody disagreeing with me? I'm trying to explain this nuance that I see because I see it a lot of times. I see it a lot of times. There is a nuance that says it's okay. And it doesn't matter if, you know, it's worse depending on how far we don't fit into cis heteronormative relationships. If I'm a big trans woman, like I'm tall and big, it don't matter that I ain't never played football, I ain't never played sports, I ain't never lifted no weights, been on my own since I was 13 years old. If I got some height on me, if I'm fuller, then automatically, oh yeah, you should be able to fight back. it's almost like however further I am from whatever the stereotypes of a cisgender woman is, if I'm clockable, if I look a little strong, this dude could have been a football player. He could be what he could have all the things that will make him more athletic than me. His whole identity revolves around being a masculine man. And I cannot be him. I know me in particular. I'm not a small woman. I'm thick and 5'11. And I will, just I will try to hold my own anytime I'm trying to fight. But especially when I'm in relationships, I'm usually not I'm not usually in a relationship with a dude that I think that I can whoop. Usually I'm in a relationship with a dude who is masculine, and I'm not saying that I can't, but but I'm usually in relationship with men who have been men, who identify as men, who identify as cis men, and they've been doing man stuff all their damn life. I have not. So we could be the same exact height, same exact size, but we have two different physicalities. I'm not going to be stronger than him. And so me being born a boy doesn't change the fact that he can overpower me. It doesn't change the fact that he can beat me up. It doesn't change the fact that, and whether or not I can beat him up or not, we humans and you shouldn't be hitting me. That is violent. You shouldn't be violent to me. It's almost like a hierarchy of who should be treated well, because I see that little nuance difference when it comes to dainty feminine white women and assertive aggressive black women. And we talk about cis women now. You see that little difference in nuance. You see this aggressive black woman standing her ground, not being violent at all, but standing up, self-advocating for herself. And this dude is standing next to her talking about, if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna punch you in your mouth right now. We just saw this. Her son had to kill him. Y'all remember that thing that went viral a couple of months ago? She's sitting there advocating for herself, not hitting him. And he's being aggressive to her and saying, if you say one more thing, I'm gonna punch you in your mouth. And there was people in the comments talking about, see, she should have kept her mouth shut. They always talking and da 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 da. But they don't say that to them dainty blonde white girls. Now we know how racism and white supremacy work, that they have a certain level of protection, but their response is that nuance and difference where when we talk about cisgender black women, when I talk about cisgender black women and I say, hey, y'all actually don't get access to what that hyper femininity garners you. Y'all actually don't get access to that. We look at the Serena Williams and the people who they love to call a man. Y'all are always getting your femininity questioned. So you not, because of that questioning and shaking it up, you don't get access to that full protection of what womanhood gets you. And that nuance that you see in the difference when you can analyze racism and see the difference in how white women are protected, how when they go missing, people are searching and doing, and oh my God, and da 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 da. But the same thing doesn't happen with us. That little nuance also trickle down and get worse to people like us as trans women. When it comes to people's willingness to protect us, when it comes to when wrongdoings are happening to us. We have seen multiple incidents. Somebody brought up Malaysia Brooker. Just recently, the person who killed her just got sentenced. But a month before she got murdered, she was in a fender bender and dudes jumped her. And cis women had to drag after she was getting jumped and beat for a long ass video. Cis women dragged her off, luckily. But then years later, during the George Floyd riots, Ayanna Dior was getting attacked in Y'all remember that video that went viral, was getting attacked in that convenience store, and the people wouldn't even call the police to help her. It was cis women and cis men jumping her in that store. A little small, little slim trans woman. Didn't even need to jump her. But they were jumping her, and she ran into the store thinking that it was a safe haven, and they wouldn't even call the police. You remember that? In the middle of a riot for a black man getting murdered. This is all happening around the same time that Tony McDade, the trans man, got murdered in Tallahassee by the police that nobody cared about until we spoke up about it. Same thing a week before that, Breonna Taylor was murdered in her home and nobody spoke about it. But then the whole world goes up when George Floyd, this big black man, not that they shouldn't, but I'm just pointing out the difference and the nuances of what's happening. You got trans people literally on the street going up and organizing and holding signs for this black man who was murdered by the police. And at the same time, a trans woman is getting jumped by cisgender men, black cisgender people, men and women. It was so crazy for me and just kind of like an eye opener for me. And so there's a nuance in how people are treated. And then, you add all the other intersections, fat girls, I remember there was a conversation that I had with one of my fat homegirls, and she said when she was growing up and she was the fat girl in the clique, it made her to boys be more masculine, and they used to roughhouse her more than the dainty little girls because she was a big girl, and because she was big, it associated with masculinity. So she was treated more boyish because she was a big girl. And when she verbalized that, I had flashes of memory of how you are totally damn right, because I remember when we were little girls, when we were little kids, I remember how these nuances of how they engage with big, fat, big bone little girls, how they engage with them. I remember it being different. I remember them masculinizing her because she was bigger than the rest of the girls. So societal stereotypes and misconceptions about trans people can, create these challenges. And even, I don't know how to undo this, but our association with sex work and porn and those type of things, just trying to have a normal conversation with a guy, those stereotypes that they see in porn and see in on a host stroll, those stereotypes forces us not to be able to have any kind of normal conversation. And whereas, like I said, this is not about cis women not experiencing this. It's just different. It's just made okay. A dude who wants to just bang you, okay? So we know that there's dudes out here who just want to bang whoever they can bang. Cis, trans, boys, whatever. But there is a decorum that men know that they have to present in order to get access to vagina. Okay. So they can't, not saying that they don't do this, but they know that if they come in the situation, talk about, damn, I want to get some pussy and that's going to turn a lot of women off. So even if that is their goal, they come with a certain level of class. They come with a certain level of respect. They come with a certain level of finesse with how they engage with you. And so what trans women usually see is they come with that finesse that they normally give to cis women. Now, this does not mean that his goal isn't to fuck me. If I was cis or trans, it don't really matter. But what happens when I say that I'm trans that finesse goes out the window. The respect, the decorum, the everything goes out the window. And like I said, I'm not saying that cis women don't experience this. I'm saying that because we are trans, there is no societal decorum that says they can't treat us like shit. There is no, there's not even a chance of, like some dudes will be in their locker room talk with their homeboys talking hella crazy about women. And there might be a chance of one dude saying, oh, yeah, this is kind of gross, y'all. Like, what's up? Da 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 da. We won't even have that. We won't even have that one dude, that chance of that one dude saying something respectful to us. Because then all of a sudden, oh, you must like trans women. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a whole thing. You're right. The political climate sure isn't helping. It's actually, and there's a double head. Excuse me. Let me go get me something to drink. I'll be right back. Because my throat is getting dry. All right. So, thank you. I The thing about visibility, I love these, by the way. They did not pay me. Nobody ever pays me. Deep Rose. This is like rose lemonade. Oh my fucking God. This shit is fire. I don't know if y'all like rose flavor shit, but this shit is so good. It's like rose flavored lemonade. Ah, so good. Anyway, so the thing about visibility is it's a double-edged sword. So visibility does lead to more normalcy, but it also leads to more people knowing about you and taking a stance against you. Let me give you an example of this is my own. This is anecdotal, so I don't want to. I don't, and y'all tell me if y'all experience this too, especially if you travel a lot. Like if you travel prior around, if you're older and you travel different places in the country. What anyway? So I moved to Mississippi when I was 18. Y'all don't heard the story. Y'all know how that goes. So I moved down there, and I would tell dudes my tea, and they would have no clue what a transgender person was. I would say transsexual. I wouldn't use the language of transgender back then. But they would have no clue of what a trans person was. Like, because especially like if they didn't watch Jerry Springer and they didn't watch nothing, the idea of a trans person, they didn't have an idea. They didn't have any almost, it was like a, when they meet me, it's like they're meeting a clean slate, like they're meeting a new type of dog or meeting a new type of animal or meeting a new species. Like there's nothing that this is something I've never seen before or something similar to what I've seen before, but this is a different type of animal. Like, have y'all ever seen a dog, a new type of woman? Exactly. Have y'all ever seen a dog breed that y'all never saw before in person and you like, oh, this breed of dog, like a purebred breed of dog that you just never seen before. Like, for example, a Tibetan Mastiff. A Tibetan Mastiff, if you got your phones out, Google a Tibetan Mastiff. I seen that dog in person and I was like, whoa, this is a different kind of dog. I've never seen this dog. Like, I done seen a million dogs in my life, but this kind of dog, I've never seen it. And it was quite noticeable. It was like, oh, this is a weird, big, huge, interesting dog. There is a fascination, yes, novelty, and I don't, unlike the pit bull, I know what a pit bull does. Pit bull comes with different stereotypes about them being mean and attacking you. I'm so familiar with a pit bull that it has these attachments. It actually has political stereotypes about pit bulls. Do you see what I'm saying? Because all the incidents or no incidents, people not knowing anything about pit bulls, but I don't know shit about a Tibetan Mastiff. I don't know its temperament. I don't know anything about what's going on with it, like what type of temperament it has. I don't know what kind of fur it grows. I don't know about its mating habits. Is it barking too much? Is it loud? Is it loud? I don't know anything about a Tibetan Mastiff. I don't have any kind of preconceived notions about this animal because I have never met it. So I can't say, like, if I met a pet bull, oh, I don't want pet bulls in my neighborhood because I remember this story about this pet bull attacking its owner and attacking the kids. So we want to ban pet bulls in our neighborhoods. Do you see what I'm saying? There are preconceived notions about this pet bull. So, this analogy, I want you to think about that pet bull being a faggot. But you're a dog too, but you're different. So I don't know how to think about you. The closest thing that I can think of is this pit bull or this type of dog that I might not like a little bit, but you a little different. You got this long, pretty hair. You look different. And so now say that Mastiff came over and he was all friendly. He's well groomed. I should be saying she, but since I'm speaking from a trans femme perspective, but I'm saying he's well groomed. He is pretty. Like whatever's been happening with this dog, it's well taken care of. And it looks like a dog. It looks like an interesting dog. So when the owner, but say the dog could talk, when the person who owns this dog or the dog could talk, and he comes and says, "Oh, I'm a dog. I'm a special kind of a dog. I'm a different kind of dog." There might be some history of pit bull in my past, in my lineage, but I'm a whole different type of dog. This is what I am. And if I'm a person that like dogs in general, I could look at this dog and say, "Oh, you're gorgeous though. I love you. I might want to be your owner. You're sickening." And so, because I have no preconceived notions about Tibetan Mastiffs, I might fall in love with a Tibetan Mastiff. I might love it. I could take it in because I don't have preconceived notions. So that's my analogy. That's what happened to me when I moved to the South. I would meet dudes who would have no preconceived notions. So when I tell them I'm trans, I can create the notion. I can create the notion, I can create the narrative, and all they see is a beautiful woman. Yes, I got some stuff to explain about body parts and da 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 da. But they know I'm a human being. They're familiar with a human being and they're familiar with a woman. So if I tell you that I'm a woman or just a special kind of woman, it's not hard for me to get you to understand because you don't have the preconceived notions. You don't have the history of people in your friend group teaching you socially how to respond to this type of dog. Where now, because of visibility, and I am at no way, shape, form, or fashion complaining about visibility, because a lot of positive, amazing things come from visibility. And one of those things is normalizing and having these kind of hard conversations. But one of the negatives is now everybody, because of us, it's not because of her. I'm just using these popular incidents as a so you can understand the Zaya Wades, the T.S. Madison, the Diamond Styles, the Hope Giselles, the Pose show, Jerry Springer, all the things that have happened that bring visibility to trans people. You feel what I'm saying? Now everybody got to have a conversation about it, because now it's this big thing. We gotta tell people where we stand on the transgender issue. And so now even the layman has been exposed to transness enough. It has come out of the subculture of a subculture. I want y'all to understand that. LGBTQIA, da, 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 da. The T was a little T for a very long time. We were a subculture within a subculture. So when the subculture comes out, and now they're prioritizing the T, now that gay marriage is not is legal and they don't got nothing to fight for, it's the T. And so now the T is the issue. Now the layman, the normal person, the culture, the cultural dialogue that is happening is just like we had to have a conversation about what is your stance on gay marriage. Even though gay marriage doesn't affect your life at all, you got to come in and tell me what you think about gay marriage. Even though it's not your love life, it's not your bedroom, it's not your taxes that's going to decrease or increase. Nothing about gay marriage is going to affect your life. But because this issue is at the forefront, because during political races, we got to ask our politicians, what is your stance on gay marriage? Because of that shit, now every bullshit motherfucker who don't know nothing about queerness, don't know nothing about sexuality, don't know nothing about psychology, sociology, don't know nothing. Now they gotta make a stance. And that stance is usually gonna be rooted in some toxic church shit, usually. Now they gotta make a stance, a political stance against this thing. They got to make a political stance against gay marriage. And that's what's happening with transes now. Because that's why we see this legislation coming up. We see all these things. They wasn't making anti-trans legislation in the past. You feel what I'm saying? They weren't making all this shit. You think that it's a coincidence? No, it's not. Now they got to say, oh, I need an issue like this to push my people to vote. Make sure y'all thumbs up if y'all enjoying the conversation. If I got to make this issue to the forefront to push my people to vote, the base, the negative conservative right base, they got to make this an issue. Do you see what I'm saying? So now everybody, oh, what do I think about trans people? Oh, they're not women, or they are women. They're just like us. They have to make a stance. It's the litmus test about if you are down with the LGBT community. Even the gay men who normally could ignore us because we were a subculture. Even the gay men are chiming in on if we are real women, are we considered women? Everybody's creating a political stance about our identity. And we have to live with the consequences, not them. Y'all feel me? So, back in the day, while we didn't have certain protections, while we didn't have medical health care, access to hormones, we didn't have the surgery access, we getting black market silicone, where it wasn't the greatest. And I'm not complaining. I like the advancement. The positive outweighs the negative. It was gay men who would help the right with the SB 12 drag bans. Amen. We see, but especially those type of gay men. Um, I think the positive outweighs the negative, but there is a negative that came with visibility as a trans woman who, I'm an old head. So I came up in a time where I remember, this is messy, but I remember when the trade still existed. Where there was, I'm not saying all these relationships were healthy, but there was a chance for you to make a boy fall in love with you who had no preconceived notions about transness. You meeting men now and they are asking you your pronouns. What the fuck you think my pronouns are, nigga? And I understand some people are breaking the binary, but sometimes I'll be like, because they didn't have the preconceived notion, sometimes you can meet somebody and they can fall in love with you for you. And so it's like visibility can be a barrier. Sometimes you want to mold their thoughts on us. And I don't even want to I just want you to give me a chance, yo. It's not really about molding. That feels like on some groomer shit. But it's about, you don't have that shit clouding your mind when you get to know me as a person. Yeah, so and and I'm just talking about I guess I just want to iterate. I'm not even talking about the difficulties of that everybody go through with finding a partner that just fits you. I think everybody goes through that. You see what I'm saying? I think everybody goes through that. You know, it's just not working out. And so and it's sad, it's hard, dating is hard in regards to that. But I feel like there are love barriers that is unique to our experience as trans people. I even think about, the identity switch. I see this less often with trans women, but more so with trans men. Um, you a trans man will be pre-transition with his spouse or his lover, and they both identify as lesbian because they both were women, and then one will transition, and then now because one of them had identifies as a man, they're not comfortable with their lesbian partner who has been lesbian for as long as she knows identifying with being a lesbian. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the clash in that thing? Because now, baby, I've been a lesbian and I'm with the same person. They just transitioned. Now I got to explain to my family that I don't identify with a lesbian anymore. I've seen these scenarios, less so with trans women. Um, but I've seen this with trans men relationships, and there is a identity thing. So it's just a I don't know. It's just there's so many love barriers. And I'm somebody that, I've been in love before multiple times. And, I'm not some when I was younger, I used to have this thing where having a man was validating, being chose, very pick me energy. Not, I wouldn't, down people or do some crazy shit just to be chosen, but that was to me, women in my family had men. And so that's the culture of the women that I knew. You have a man, your man pay all the bills. Your man, you cook and clean and take care of your man, and he pay all the bills. Women in my family, they all had that lifestyle where they took care of the home and the man pay all the bills. So in my brain, That was the life of a woman. I was supposed to get a man who can provide. And that is quintessential womanhood. Getting a man that could provide that and you living your life like this homemaker. That's womanhood. That's what it is. Of course, you got the, you know, having babies and da da da. I can't do that. So, but as far as other than that, you know, that was the rules. And so there was a part of my life where I thought that that's what you do. You you be so beautiful. Jaja Gabor, darling. Yes. You be so beautiful. You take care of yourself. You look good. You be sexual. You be, freaking the sheets, sexual. You get what I'm saying? You freaking the sheets, lady in the streets. You classy. You this happy homemaker shit. And now I ain't really even trying to find nobody love, no relationship like that. If it comes, cool, but I'm kind of divested from that a little bit. Like I don't even be trying to build relationship. I be dating people and just to go out and have some fun when I'm bored. Maybe have you, maybe not. But me actually doing the work to try to build a relationship with somebody, I just don't have the patience no more. And so I don't do that. I just don't do it. I don't say hopeless. I'm just my focus is on other shit now. And I'm having more return on investment when it comes to my time being invested in my friends as opposed to my time being invested in a man. A lot of times when I'm in relationship with men, my time is invested in that man. And in my past, that shit hasn't gave me a good return on investment. It's a fucking battle. And so for me, my return on investment has been my time being spent with my friends. Me being building a better bond with my friends. Have some dick on the side because I ain't fucking none of my friends because I don't like none of them hoes sexually. But have some dick on the side, but actually spend time caring about my friends, caring about doing things with my friends, planning trips with my friends. You get what I'm saying? Really investing my time in I'm just getting a better return on investment in that. And so because that return on investment is more beneficial, I just don't see me investing in a man in the way that I used to. I'm open to things happening, the doors are open, but also I'm no longer working to make nothing work. I am if it's not easy street, my plan is to be single. Okay, so we've been talking for an hour. I want to hear y'all thoughts. Let's see. What are some of y'all experiences when it comes to love barriers? Like, what has been? I try to cover some of the stuff. If I haven't covered some things, what have been some of the things that has been barriers to your love? And I didn't talk about this too much, but we kind of explore the DL dude when we think of. I know you have if you're a trans woman, and maybe if you were like a butch queen too, um, or a fat girl. I heard this with fat girls too, because these things that are not that takes us out of desirability, that takes us out of the ideal of whatever our gender ideal is. What makes you beautiful, what makes you the perfect specimen for your gender. When you have something that takes you out of that ideal, it forces you to be um there's a video by Miss Vixen with, y'all need to watch it. Let me put a link of it while I talk about it. There's a video by Queen from Miss Vixen. Oh God, it's gonna be hard for me to find it. What is it? Come on. Okay, here it goes. So Miss Vixen just put up a video about oh, what's the name of it? Okay, yes, this is it. I'm about to send it to y'all. So I thought that this was a very, very, very insightful video. Please watch it. So Queen had a guest on her show. Both of these girls are my amazing, brilliant, and some of my bestie friends right now. Two cisgender women. One is a lesbian and one is both queer. One is bi. And in the scenario, what they're talking about, Money, Dr. Money been on my channel as well. Both of them has been on my channel. Money talks about she talks about an article that somebody wrote about the subaltern state, like a state of oppression, subaltern, like kind of subalternate, but as a noun. I think that's how you spell it. Corrected me if I'm wrong. But she talks about it in that video, and she's talking about the certain type of oppression that happens when you are a subaltern to the society. You feel what I'm saying? And so if you're something that is not the ideal, that comes with a certain level of oppression. And so you have to adjust that. You have to adjust to that. It's really, really specific to us. And so when you get these download dudes, and download means, I know we associate it with hiding sexuality, hiding that they mess around. But it's also another version of that when it comes to like fat cisgender women, when it comes to anything that is out of the norm or not considered ideal. Dudes who like fat girls will lie about dealing with fat girls when they're young. Not so much when they get older, but when they're young, they'll lie about dealing with the fat chick at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just like they will lie about dealing with the butch queen or the trans woman at 2 o'clock in the morning. They'll leave the fat girl house and go directly to the trans woman house. So, you feel what I'm saying? Like we are all experiencing these things where society says that we are not the norm, that it's not okay to be with us, but men still have the sexual desire to be with us, so they hide it. And so that too is a barrier for us to be treated like humans instead of treated like blow up dolls. That is a layer of our oppression, a love barrier, a barrier that stops us from being treated, stops us from getting the love that we deserve as human beings. Let me read what y'all got to say. I'm married now, but when I was dating, even the studs were DL. Plus, that's another weird thing too. It be trans men that be DL messing with trans women, studs DL messing with cis men. It's a whole layer of DL weird shit because I'm a stud and I have been claiming I'm a lesbian, but because I like penetration, I sneak and have sex with cisgender men, and it's toxic because now cisgender men are fetishizing fucking studs, And so they get an attitude and be lying about studs who actually don't mess with cisgender men, claiming that they all secretly want penis and that's why they use straps. It's this whole weird ass thing. Crazy. People are so damn weird. Um, anyway, let me finish. Studs were DL. Plus, being a trans femme, I wasn't welcome into lesbian communities with open arms. Whoo, all right. That is true. That's another thing, another element. The hardest part about dating cis men is that they think you are supposed to act a certain way based on what you look like and is. Someone who is beautiful but bucks up against boxes and stereotypes. Men don't invest in getting to know the real me. They only want to protect who they think I am as a woman. Ooh, come on. Ooh. And okay. And let's talk about this might get ugly. So they want to protect who they think I am as a woman. And let's talk about what that is they're protecting. And let's talk about how trans women also align themselves with protecting that womanhood and weaponize it against other trans women along with men in the communities of men who do date us. It's hard to find a trans attracted man who has his shit together. Many have a lot of other issues, anxiety, trauma. I think as you know, I don't know what race you are, but as a black person, I don't expect my man to not. I only date black men. I don't expect my men. They doing it to Miss Netta now. Come on, come on. We see it come up, pop up every now and then. Soon as a trans woman doesn't fit what our ideals are when it comes to womanhood, we don't treat her with respect. We don't think she deserves nice things like a man, even if that man is somebody that we don't want. We try to make it seem like she doesn't deserve that because she's not beautiful, because she's not what we think is deserving of that. And that happens across women. Is Miss Netta trans? I heard she was, but it doesn't really matter. For me, whatever she is, it don't really matter. Because what we see is happening to her happen to women that look like her all the time. Their gender being questioned, they're not being beautiful enough, questioning the man who is dedicated to her. Like, what? He must need a place to stay. You see what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't just love her. Like, I met this beautiful woman that had an amazing personality that cooked really, really well, and I fell in love. So I'm here. I'm not shallow. I'm not shallow enough to let this woman go. Dudes complain about women not cooking and cleaning and taking care of house. This is just one that, oh, I found somebody that could. She just so happened to be trans. So shit. I said fuck it. And took a chance and fell in love and intertwined our life. You see what I'm saying? But people looking in don't understand that. People from the outside looking in think, oh my God, she doesn't deserve a man. I often hear you are so beautiful. And I thought you would act like this. Now I see that with cis women too, particularly black ones. But I think what I was about to say is I don't men that I date when it comes to trauma, I don't expect black men, because I date black men, I don't expect them to not have some type of trauma, anxiety, something that they're dealing with, because that's how racism work in America. And so there's gonna be some trauma. The horrible part is I don't get the same grace from black men when it comes to me navigating my own trauma. And I don't think that happens with cis men to cis women. Like, men are so focused on their own trauma and their own dealings with racism that they don't even reflect, not all of them, of course, but they don't even reflect on what type of trauma that being a woman, being a black woman, does to us as black women. They don't care about their trauma enough. So I'm not expecting them to look over here at the black trans woman and care. I'm just not expecting it. Um, True. I had an ex-boyfriend that was more invested in me being stealth than I was. And then that's not about you. We love to make it seem like it's about us, like, oh, he's protecting my tea too. But that protects them and their identity as a straight man. They expect Miss Nettie to be lonely because she doesn't look like the beauty standards. Absolutely, Jenny. Speaking of Miss Nettie, I could go for some garlic mashed potatoes. Work. The dependency on stealth and cisgender women's standards contribute to the anxiety. Absolutely. Laverne Cox talks about her man having to be okay with being perceived as gay. And I also don't listen. This is just it's not my responsibility to help you get secure in your identity. Just like I have to be secure in my womanhood, even though half of fucking America is gonna say you're a man, you're a man, you're a man, you're still a man. DNA, you're a man. DNA, da, 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 da. If you die and they find your body a million years from now, they're gonna see that you're a male. And actually, that's not true. So anyway, and I'm still secure in who I am as a person, regardless of that half of the people who don't respect my identity. I don't really care. And I just like I have the steadfastness in accepting who I am and deal with the consequences as it comes. I am expecting the same steadfastness in a man who is you a man. You supposed to stand on your 2 feet and like what you like. And so, regardless of what somebody else thinks about you. And so, therefore, if somebody wants to think that you're gay and you think that you're not, it is your job to get over that. It is not my job to coddle that. I'm sorry. That's not my job. That's for you. So when you come over here trying to be with me, another love barrier, do you have the wherewithal to withstand that? These straight men ain't got no bowels nowadays. Try your dinner sweater in for a couple of days. I like cooking for people. You know that's how we get down. Nope, I'm not taking the trip with no man. Your sexuality is your business. Absolutely. I wouldn't be enough anyway. It wouldn't be enough anyway, honestly. The validation comes from self, I think. I agree. It starts there. I don't think that it can, I think it's unhealthy. I think that there is unhealthiness with being against the grain to the level that we are. That's why we see so many crazy ass trans women in our culture, in our society. I think that there is a level of it's kind of like people who have been homeless, like sleeping on the street homeless. I have heard this multiple times that there's a level of crazy that it can kind of flip you to being homeless and having to be unhoused for a long period of time. There's a level, it's kind of like being in solitary for a long period of time. I don't know if y'all ever heard this, but some people who have been homeless in that way, like homeless, no place to go, no couches to lay on, outside and you have to find a place to sleep. That kind of homeless for long periods of time. They talk about this type of crazy you kind of have to go. Um a Patreon question? What does that mean? Um so in that regards, I I think that us being to the level of subaltern that we are, I think for some, if you don't have the community, if you haven't cultivated the community to keep you sane, I think it make people go crazy. Honestly, I really do. I wish we studied trans people enough because we do not to be able to prove my theory. I do think that being this against the grain, th- you got to understand being trans goes up against one of the oldest social constructs. Man and woman is, I feel, not I feel, I know, man and woman is older than race. It's older than the black and white racism stuff. Man and woman is older than that. I know we love to, because we are in America, we focus on white supremacy. And, because of the history of America, whiteness is what we kind of like, oh, white supremacy, white, race. But patriarchy is older and more long term. There's a documentary on, I think, PBS. You might can find it on YouTube as well. It's called The Ascension of Women. And they talk about women in the Mesopotamia, like one of the earliest documented civilizations. We know other places, but we talk about documented where we can find their their writings and stuff like that. Women were considered gods, and there was this situation. I want y'all to watch it because I'm paraphrasing, but there was a situation where one of the women was in temple and they considered them gods, and she was writing, and this is like one of the first written things. And there was this really, really misogynistic rule that they were making that the people in the temple could not, the priestess in the temple, at one point they had power, but the men did something and they couldn't come out uncovered. So they almost turned their temple into a prison for the women. It's crazy. So it's a documentary called The Ascension of Woman, or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But y'all watch it. It's really, really good. Teaching you the history of patriarchy. And so it's just older. Um, it's similar to institutionalized. It flips a switch, absolutely. Yes, mental health gets a lot worse the longer you are homeless. Yes, right. Social isolation is real. That's why a lot of us thrive in the early stages of the pandemic. Absolutely. I agree. Trans typically comes with a very specific trauma that starts the second you realize something is different about you and your gender. Yes. And if you do not access community, and I'm not talking about, um, going to marches. I'm not talking about that. Your community is your support system. You can never go to no pride march, go to no gay club, go to no event, no T-door. You can never do any of that, but you have a community network of people that care for you and affirm you. Thank you so much, Brandon. Um, do you see what I'm saying? Like, that is your community. So if you don't find community, you can go insane. Like, literally. You have community is important to human beings. I know people be like, "Oh, I'm antisocial. I'm introvert. I'm da, 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 da." Everybody want to be, something. But socialization is important to every human being. What is your Patreon question, Jay? You can just ask it here. And so that's important. Even if you are not finding a lover, do what I said. Invest in building good relationships with a couple of people. It don't need to be a million people. Pick one at first and then try to get a second. Try to do that because people don't care about you. This world isn't made intentionally to care about you in the way that it is other people. So you have to be active in your mental health care. You have to be active in building your support system. You have to be active in um having a lifeline out of that. Oh, I couldn't access the YouTube videos on it, and I didn't think it had to do with the tier. I could be wrong. Some things are because of the tier, but most things are not. Most things are not. I don't think right now, I think it's all open. You just become any tier, anything that I have had there in Patreon. You should have access. I don't think it's tiered now. I think it used to be certain things, but I think I switched everything to whatever tier you are. You get to have access to it. Tell me which one you are trying to, but if it's on YouTube, um, um, I don't remember what there shouldn't be everything. If you're a patron, you should have access to everything. Because I just give the tier so people can give what they want to give. Everybody get the same access. It's just some people are more blessed to give. Some people are more blessed to give $10 a month. Some people are more blessed to give $25 a month. Some people are more blessed to give $2 a month. It just depends on each individual person. But I give access to everything. It's kind of like even here on YouTube, when you are a member on there, you get access to everything that I put behind the wall. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you have any more questions, just send me a message on Instagram and I'll try to fix it for you and tell you what's happening. Um, but everything, yeah, I think everything has access to once you just become a patron. Thank you for being a patron. That is how I am supported. Um, Active in self-care period, absolutely. I can be solitary, but I try to check in with people and cultivate an intimate circle. This is important to me, especially as an only child. That is true. I was blessed to, you know, Ty is here. Ty has been my friend since young. I think I'm appreciating it more as I get older to have a trans friend for as long as I have to publicly go through this together. Um, I think that has been a blessing. I mostly throughout my life, my closest friends have been trans. I've had butch queens that have been close a little bit. Um, it is only recently that I've had cis my titties looking huge. Are huge. um, it's only recently that I have been cultivating really good cisgender women friends. I've had some cool ones in my past, but they weren't close. I'm getting way closer to cisgender women in the past 5 years. I've been getting way more closer than I have ever been with them. I used to actively not allow them to be close. Now I'm cultivating deeper, better relationships with them. And it's actually working out well, actually. I don't know how important community was back then when I hopped in full time in 2010. I didn't have that and I was really losing my mind. Yeah, community is always important. That's always an element. It is having a support system, having a community is one of those markers of quality of life that reduce all of the chances. It reduces the likeliness of other negative shit happening, reduces the likeliness of suicide, reduces the likeliness of addiction, reduces the likeliness of abuse, reduces the likeliness of almost every negative outcome that you can think of. Having a community support system reduces it, reduces the chance of that negative outcome. That's like every research paper in psychology, sociology, everything points to that. Think about your hardest time. What pulled you out of it? It usually, for me, it was usually my community or people in my support system, which is your community. If I didn't have trans cousins, I don't know what I would do right now. It's a big help to know people who can relate and know that if anything happened to you, you'll you have someone in your corner. Absolutely. Recently moved to a new city and it's hard to find community. So important though. Yes, you know what I love to do? I'm not saying that this is going to work for you, but it works for me. Facebook, if you have Facebook, go to events. There, go to that tab that says events and go to events that looks interesting. To things that just random shit, just go and be friendly. It's kind of like when you networking. You have to be open. Now, I know there comes there comes some pick inclusive affirming events. Now I go to things because I there comes a privilege with I'm not talking about you normal, but I don't know what you look like. But I know I have a privilege of passing on a certain level. And so I can go to straight functions, I can go to certain things and not have any problems. But if you are worried about that, now if you passable, then honey, go to shit. Go have fun, network, and engage with people. But if you're worried about passing or not, if you're worried about not passing in scenarios, then pick things that are more inclusive. And you probably will find people at those locations. And I know seem this seems cliche, but take your ass to a drag bar. Go support your girls. There's gonna be some trans women there, some drag that can some drag queens that can connect you to community. There's clubs that we got down here in Houston. You just go in and you're gonna meet some trans people and you can just spark up a conversation with the host or whatever. And they can introduce you to some of the girls in the community. So many girls down here that you won't even know. I'm 6'3" trying to be trans femme. Yeah. I know tall girls, honey, that get through. Honey, I don't know what work you have done, honey. Get your FFS and be a 6 foot tall femme girl, child. I think FFS changes people's lives. I done seen some girls who straight or LGBT. Amen. There's a group of girls who only go to the straight bars, and I know it because I've been there and I see them. They don't be going to the gay bars at all. But you know they trans girls because it's clear, but they looking sickening and tipping through, and they don't be getting bothered. I done seen a few where I'm like, and the niggas will be talking, but they won't be bothering them. I hear them talking. I don't know no faces. I ain't never heard no club faces. Where's faces at? Is that on 1960? I think there was a club called Faces on 1960 off Alameda. No, I never been. I've been to like a little I don't think it's a club, but it's like a little it's like a bar slash restaurant that they turn into a club sometimes right there off of Alameda. And me, Z, and Mia went in there and we had a ball. It was fun. And this lady clocked Mia. And you know how you know how they come up, and she came up to Mia and said, I think we talked about it on the podcast. I don't know if you remember, Brianna. But she came up to me and said, I'm not trying to be funny, but can I ask you a question? And she asked me her tea. I think she was kind of embarrassed though in this moment because the way the lady did it, she didn't do it like rude, but she did it in a weird grandma auntie way, like a grandmother would or something. A club called Faces Off Richmond a year ago. Child, don't give me the line. I don't know nothing about it. Oh. Good. Oh, Hood Club. Okay. I remember that episode of Marsha's Play. It was funny. How is me and Mia and Z? I actually haven't talked to them since they left Marsha's Plate. Like, I haven't got a text from Mia. I expected it from Z, but I did not expect it from Mia. I haven't talked to them at all. Like, not one word. Nope. Not at all. That's kind of shady. It's not kind of shady. It is shady, but it's okay. I mean, I hope I'm not overstepping by saying I did expect it from Mia. I didn't expect it from Mia. Me and Mia have been knowing each other for 10 years. And so no matter what she had going on, she would, we weren't talking every damn day, but I don't talk every damn day to any of my friends. But when she has something going on, she will hit me up. So I can't say that I expected it from her. I expected it from Z. It's not like me and Z was super, super close. But I also know that relationships run their course. I think so. I haven't really been keeping up with them, but I think so. I think so. Z has a podcast, I think. I think he has a podcast. I think on his podcast, from what I'm hearing from other people, he has, very hotepy, kind of weird cis man takes. And I think that being on our podcast, he wasn't allowed to have that freedom or not be called out about it. And so even though his claim was that he didn't want to do podcasting anymore, um he went and started his own podcast, which is, yeah. I get it. Oh, why is my eyebrows matching this? That's what my eyes is doing. Is that what your eyes is doing? My eyebrows seem like they're matching this pattern. um but yeah, I think they're still together. Z was giving weird energy during his last few episodes on the podcast. Yeah, he was because people were calling him out for aligning with Dave Chappelle. He was. Off topic, are y'all going to see Color Purple? Yes. But I will be in Cancun when it comes out. So I'll come see it when I come back. I'll buy my ticket for the day of Christmas. Yeah. I will. I'll have to see it when I come back. I come back on the 20. I don't know. Somewhere. It's still around. It still exists. That podcast still exists. He came to our live show this past Thanksgiving Trans Day week, that whole week. He came to our Chris came to our show. Chris be supporting. I don't like his show because it's basically fishing fresh and fit with trans attracted men. I was sitting in Miami, yes. Girl, whatever. Da, 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 da. He was not feeling the feedback. No, he was not feeling the feedback. Yeah, I love that too. Whatever. I want them to be successful. I don't want them. There's no shade. Literally nothing happened between us. That's the thing about it. When it comes to issues with Diamond, there was nothing happened between us with me and them. It was their relationship with me and Mia had one incident, but it was kind of funny because Z was like, "You're just seeing the real Mia." In the conversation, she just was misunderstanding what was being said, like in regards to she said that I was little girling her. And so there was a situation where I was asking her an explanation. Like I was literally asking her an explanation and she got smart with me. And in my brain, I'm like, we're on a show. We're going to ask each other questions. And she went into this whole little, she just went into attack mode. And I was like, what is happening? And so I was, because I felt like she was in attack mode for no reason, I felt like I wanted to give her grace, but she kept going further. And I'm not somebody that you can do that with. If I'm giving you grace, that grace is only going to last for so long before I go off. And so I went off. and and it was wild because I was like, yeah, this is crazy. So we came back the next week. Like I literally didn't record with her in that scenario with them. And I literally had to come back and be like, I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to, but it ain't gonna be me. So yeah, and I'm not somebody who minces words. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say because I'm a grown ass woman. So, and she ended up apologizing and shit, but it was a strange moment that because I didn't understand why she went off. But what it is people don't like being challenged. When they say something stupid, and it was surprising for Mia because Mia says stupid stuff all the time. So her getting buck about me challenging her stupid response or challenging her with a question was out of her norm because she say stupid stuff all the time. So that was like an ongoing thing for us. Cut that out, Diamond. Whatever she used to say, cut that out. So it was a common thing. So it was strange that she bucked up in that kind of way. It was really, really strange. I didn't understand it. But but yeah, it definitely has evolved. I think Jay is that way as well. I think Jay, there's a lot of times if we disagree, he doesn't like being challenged. Particularly this issue that's coming out. We saw the issue with the episode as far as class reprise. We saw that episode. This episode too, we have a little moment in there where I'm like, I had to when we got off the recording, I was like, oh, he doesn't like being challenged. Like he's somebody like regular men. They don't like their perspective of things to be challenged. I don't think anybody likes that, but that's that's gonna be that's just what it is, especially if you saying something that to me doesn't have weight. And I'm somebody who is going to challenge you. I'm going to say, "Oh, I disagree with that." And this is why. And this is what I think about it. I think you're wrong. And it's not a and because we're in a space where we're having back and forth, your job is just to state your case, state your claim, give what's the evidence, and da 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 da. And we can spar back and forth, but I don't think everybody is comfortable enough in their stance to always do that. So they're like, oh my God, no, that's not what I mean. And so what you'll see during the conversation, and this happens a lot with men. I This happened a lot with people who just think they know shit. Um, you'll see them kind of shift their opinions once you call them out and you have your own evidence and your own proof and your own point of view and your explanation of why you think what you think. Then sometimes they'll end up shifting and y'all have this whole argument, and by the end of the argument they have given in to what you're saying because you have corrected them, but it went into this whole ego argument instead of just us discussing the issue. Anyway, y'all see it this week if y'all listen. Um, y'all hear what I'm talking about. Jay seems spooked by the audience response. And my thing is, the audience is going to be different than you. We're not going to always agree. And I feel like if you have a reasonable explanation for them to understand your point of view, they like, oh, even if they disagree, they're like, oh, I see why you got it. The next time they talk about it, it was like y'all were on the same side the whole time. Exactly, Ty. That happens so many times. I like the dynamic between the two of you because she didn't always have the vocabulary like a lot of the young trans girls, and you school her a lot respectfully. And some people don't like to be in that scenario. Some people don't like that. Some people get tired of that. And I think that's why she said I was little girling her. Even though I didn't, in the moment that I'm talking about, there wasn't no kind of correction. I just asked her a question. Like I asked her, and it wasn't a sarcastic question, it was a literally a question of clarity. And then because I thought she misunderstood me, because I was not correcting her, I was just asking her clarity on her scenario. And so much that Z was like, yo, why are you tripping? She just asking you. It was so strange. The I didn't understand it at all. It was strange. Um, but yeah, Jay behaves as if he's getting scolded when he is not. Yes. He seems to feel like disagreeing with him is calling him stupid. Yes. Yes. I've done the same thing to family members and they lashed out because of the cognitive dissonance. Yeah, sometimes it's an interesting dynamic. I feel like you used to kind of save me about asking her to clarify something she used to be headed in the wrong down the wrong direction one way. Yes, absolutely. Many times. There's many things everybody. There's many things that has been said that I have edited out. That was like, oh baby, just on my own integrity, putting stuff out to the world, baby. No, you is not putting that out on a podcast that I run. I don't care what the opinion is. Like, there's been some things that have been said that I'm never gonna put this out. I edit this, and I'm not gonna put this out because this doesn't align with what I want out. We can have a difference of opinion, but there's some things that go too far. And there have been situations where where this no, this doesn't make sense. Like we had a conversation about Palestine recently and I didn't put it out. I didn't put it out at all cuz no. We were heated about Palestine cuz I'm pro Palestine. I'm free Palestine all day. And so there was some weird, uneducated conversation that was happening, and I refused to put it out. It wasn't even, and sometimes I'll put something out because there's a salvageable conversation. It wasn't even salvageable. Like, no. We just if you don't have the education about it enough to discuss it, we don't need to discuss it. Leave it alone. Leave the Palestinian conversation for the other girls. Absolutely. And that's my executive producer decision. I let that go. I was like, oh no, baby. This is too far in a way that I feel like I can't put this out. Sorry, babe. I understand there's a camera on me speaking back when I didn't know any better. I would be mortified right now. Yeah, we do have that. I tell people this, it's not about being perfect and having the right things to say all the time, but I'm also a person for me that if I don't know something or I don't have a educated opinion about it, I say I don't and just say, "Oh, I don't know." I'm okay with saying I don't know. Some people are so busy trying to seem smart that they just say stuff and it's either not true or not rooted or too anecdotal or not rooted in any kind of research. You ain't even dug deep into this subject. And I can tell because this doesn't make sense. Um, and I'm a studious ass bitch. I look into shit. I'm a nerd in that way. I'm a nerd about history. I'm a nerd about just shit, random shit. So I'll go down a wormhole and learn shit. And no, I don't know everything, but I know some shit. I don't know everything, but I know some shit. And if I don't know, I say I don't know. Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I don't have no opinion because I don't know about that. I'll say that with the quickness. Do I doubt it? That's too many people talking. I don't. The most I will ever do, I wanted to do four because I wanted it to be two girls, two boys, but three is almost too much for me. Three, no, three is just enough. I like the triangle. I like the back and forth. But we have an issue with uh I cringe at those old entrance heart videos. Oh, there are some conversations that I have in my old videos that I'm like, ooh, ooh. There's some of them that I'm like, ooh, I wouldn't. It's not that I don't agree with what I'm saying, it's that I may not would have used this language now because language shifts. I miss Eon and Lioness too. I listen to Down to Darlingtons and Get My Life often. Down to the Darlingtons. What is Down to the Darlingtons? One of y'all episodes is named that? Yes, Insurance Hard. Thank you, Brendan. Yeah. I'm gonna keep that to myself. That was about to be messy, Brianna. I was about to say something, thinking, but we in front of company. I'll tell you later. I love those videos of the rawness. I remember Diamond asking if she should tell the audience how to pussy stunt, and Ty said, "Hell to the motherfucking now," and I end up doing it anyway. Perspective is a skill, and it's better with time and information. True, definitely. I am currently. Mhm. I am currently people that I am loving watching. I try to I'm trying to get out of trans conversations and I'm trying to get out of because I always talk about trans stuff, I try to do things that are not that. So I am watching back in the day when calling women fish was sort of kind of okay. Um I am really enjoying R&B Money Podcast. I am really enjoying FD Signifiers content recently. Miss Vixen, I love Queen is doing essays and interviews, and I love that she has gotten bit by the YouTube bug because she is so good. And so Queen. Um, I am watching Black Music Archives. First of all, Malik is fine. Fine, 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 fine. His voice is fine. His look is fine. He is fine. But he's also musically thorough. Um, musically thorough, and I love that he is curating that space, Black Music Archive. Um, I have been. What have I been listening to? Um, there is this dark skinned girl. I can't pronounce her name, but she is. Let me look at her. Try to find. So go to my subscriptions. Her name is. God, I'm subscribed to so many people. It's hard for me to God, what is her name? And it's hard for me to get back to her video. Uh, Let me see if I can go to my history. Her name is Khadijah Bowe. I don't know. Khadijah is Mbowe. Khadijah, Khadija. Khadijah Mowe. She's from Gambia. Well, she's from Canada. Not Canada. She's from, I think she lives in Canada, but her ancestry is Gambian. I really have been enjoying her stuff. I like Khadijah. I've been really enjoying Khadijah. Khadijah has been filling a void for me that Kim Foster because she got a man. Kim ain't Kim is in love, which I live for. Get your life, girl. But because she in love, she ain't been kind of pushing out the good stuff lately. She been kind of just my man, my man, my man, my man, my man. Which I'm happy for her, but she ain't been pushing out. You know, she like Mary J. Blige. When she's single, she puts out the good stuff. She, but I get your life. I want you to be happy and da 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 da. Because we don't, girl. But yeah, she done kind of shifted her little focus. So, and I get it. I understand that. I live. So Khadijah has been giving me, my fix. Her and Miss Vixen. Does anyone watch Armone Wiggins? Yeah, messy butch queens, messy transphobic butch queens. I don't. I He's blocked. He's been blocked for years. I blocked Mr. Wiggins. God, I want to say back in 2011. That's how long Armone has been blocked. And I block him on every platform I see him on. Him and Samson McCormick, both of them queens, honey, blocked. I haven't blocked Funky Dineva. I just stopped following her. She got weird. There's some weird anti-black woman shit with her and transphobia too. I used to follow her because she used to be funny, but yeah, but I stopped following her. Miss Funky Dineva. He just got, what is his name? What's his real name? Yeah, I gotta go. Erica be so militant. Erica. Armon is the Zeus network of YouTube. I agree. Erica De Niro TV. You know who is too militant for me? Not militant. I I can't watch her stuff. Maya's World. Is it Maya's World? She talk about colorism a lot. It's not nuanced enough for me, so I can't I can't watch her stuff. She gets on my nerves. I used to be subscribed to her, but then is it This is Mayo's World, Mayo's World. She got some freeform dreads. Her. Mm-mm. Quentin. I don't know no Quentin. Who is Quentin? Make sure I thumbs up. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Let me see if it'll do it. Yay! Which one was out? The balloons. Balloons. Yay! And the white people. What's the white people ones? It doesn't work. Yay! Quentin, yes. Okay, yeah. Quentin. Yeah. I always think Funky Dineva or Cokehead. The Cokehead from Miami. Yeah, I stopped following Quentin for a minute. Who else do I You know who I miss? I miss Andrea's Choice. I really miss Andrea's Choice. Um, I really liked her content. Who else do I miss? You know who else I miss? These are some deep cuts. Y'all might not know these. African Export. Do y'all remember her? Not Gia TV. I don't miss her at all. She was transphobic and late. um, y'all remember African Export? What music? Per usual, Shaka Khan has been on my top, all my list. Well, you know how they give you those year to date, what you've been listening to the most. I miss Lip Gloss. I didn't really get into her. I keep hearing about her leaving the internet before I get into her. Um, I have been listening to um it is called it is called is it Banco? Oh God, he's a new person that I found. Shit, why can't I find relaxing relaxing music? His name is Bo Dyko. Bo spelled the regular way. Beau. Dyko. Diako. My favorite song by him is called Settle Down by Bo Dyko. He got other songs I like too, but that is one of them. Um, there's also this person by the name of these are independent people. They not super celebrity people. Um, his name is Mock. It's EMAWK, and he has a song called a couscous or something. or something. But yes, I love that. There's also a fire ass song by the Free Nationals called Eternal Light that I really love. Um, let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. Yeah, those are new people that y'all wouldn't know, maybe. Kaya did say he was doing lives off her bar. Yeah, he did admit he like party favors. That's not a secret. Not the demonic symbol. She was. Oh yeah, Gia, yeah. Gia TV. Yes, God. She was late. She got real late towards the end. Not saying that she wasn't justified, because people was wearing her out. When they was pulling her porn up. Remember she had done porn, and they kept bringing her porn up. Do you remember that? Were you around for that, or you hadn't got on the internet yet? Yeah, they kept pulling her porn up. Her greasy booty. Yeah. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was real late. Mhm. Yeah. I love that era of the internet. That 2006 to 2012, really 2007 to 2012. That was a good time on the internet. That was fun. It was a fun time on the internet. It was the Wild West. Yeah, that era of YouTube was fun. Yes. Um, I did enjoy the era of 2000 to 2005 era of the internet, too. That MySpace, Urban Chat, BGC, Black Gay Chat era, Yahoo, AOL. That was a fun era of the internet, too. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. So anytime it's 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, I make a wish. So boom. So made my wish. I think some people make a wish when they look at the clock and it's 11:11, but I make a wish when it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Were you on geo sites? I didn't like geo sites. Facebook when you needed a college email. Me being born in '05. '05. What that makes you? You almost 20? 21? Wait, so you was 10 in 2015. Yeah, you about to be almost 20. You 18. Yeah. That was before my time. Ooh, God. The babies. 18. God. At 18 years old, I had only had one penis in me. Well, in my butt. Gosh. I wouldn't want to go back to 18. I would want to go back to 26. I would want to go to back to 20s. Wait, I don't know. Do I want to go back to 26? Nah. I would want to go back to 28. My late 20s, I would want to go back to that era. I don't know. Nah, I would go back to like 22. If I could do 20s, my 20s over, I would. That would be dope. With my mind now. Yeah, I could go back to my 20s. My 20s was it was fun. I like my 20s. My 20s was fun. Oh, I would change. I would change shit. I would change a lot. I would change. Ooh, with my mind now, there's so much I would change. I would change a lot. I would have moved to Houston faster. I did too. I feel like I hit my stride in my 30s, but I would have hit my stride earlier if I could go back to my 20s. With my mind now, yes, I would definitely go back and get my life. The scripted web series. Mm. Oh yeah. It's so much that I feel like my life would have been better if I go back to my 20s with this mind. I hated scripted web shows too. That's why I never got into Awkward Black Girl. I performed on some. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not me. Not me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's a keeper. Yes, he is. He's a keeper. Yes, he is. He'll keep you in perfect peace. Just keep your mind stead on him. He'll keep you in perfect peace. If you keep your mind on him. In the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow. In the name of heaven and earth, every knee shall bow. In the name of Jesus. Yes, that's Ricky Diller. Uh, you wouldn't be man centered if you're with your mind now. I would just set myself up. I would be money centered. I would set myself up for my I don't know. My life would be dope if I go back to my 20s with my mind now. Yes, God, my life would be dope. Yeah, but it's like it would be a restart for me. I would, yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah, I would be down. It still went down. It just went down here. You know better. I'm not talking about redoing. I'm talking about take your experiences, your mind now, and go back. It still happened. You remember everything. You're just restarting at a different time. You know better. And there about to be some more years to happen. Yeah, I don't know why they got that heart there. That is such an annoying place to be. Because sometimes I can't see what's being said. Well, that word, and sometimes it throws it off. In the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow, all these in heaven and earth. I remember this. I am God all by myself. I don't need any help. I can handle things on my own. Who was that? You said Ricky Dillard, so you gotta know who that is. No sections, just dancing and sweating. Not the vibrato. Yes, you gotta do that. On my own. That's what you gotta do. We had a choir in my city that called was it Unity? Not Unity. What's it Unity? Universal. Universal, and they choir used to have a nasty church vibrato. They this was Ricky Dillard too. And it just is so extra. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. And it was nothing but queens in that choir. And they would be squalling like that. It used to have us tickled, baby. We used to have this thing in Indianapolis called Soul Fest, and every Sunday on this, it was an annual like festival, black ass festival called Soul Fest. And so, Fridays and Saturdays it would be like the park with vendors, da da da. But on Sunday would be the gospel, gospel, shit. And so different gospel choirs across the city would come and perform. And baby, Universal used to eat their ass up, baby. And it was nothing but gay ass queens. They be having freeze curls and figure waves and girdles and pads on, singing to the Lord, squalling, baby. It used to be so, but they could sing like they could blow. So they'll just be giving you nothing but dramatic gospel, Kojic gospel. It's so funny. A joyful noise, baby. Oh. Joy, 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 joy. Yes. I used to wear it out. Oh, I miss that era. I miss the 90s era of church. Oh, I miss that. I do Missed that. 90s era of church was love. Oh, I miss. Oh, that you remember Star Quest. I miss that era of dance competitions. Star Quest was so fire. The boys used to be so sexy. Star Quest boys. Oh, uh, Star Quest was so fire. Let me see if Star Quest is still around too. Star Quest and Black Expo. And the Guy Black talent show. I remember that we used to be loved too. Circle City Classic. I love growing up in Indianapolis about certain things. The gospel, the culture. It was fire. I loved it. Even the classical, like the classical shit we used to do. We did John Rutter's Gloria, all three movements, our chamber singers in high school. Gloria in excelsis, in excelsis, in excelsis Deo. Oh, all three movements. We thought we was the shit, baby. If y'all look up on YouTube, they have it on here. Look up John Rutters. So John spelled the regular way. Rutter. John Rutters Gloria. All three movements. Like just listen to all. You supposed to listen to 1, 2, and 3 in order and listen to that. Our choir, which is not a choir, it's like an ensemble. It's not a lot of, it wasn't a lot of us. We probably had like 4 or 5 people in each group, if that. I think we had maybe like 4 sopranos, 4 altos, 3 tenors and 3 basses, or 4 tenors and 2 basses. It just depends. We used to wear it out and win competitions with it, where other people have fucking big ass, super huge choirs, and we would eat their ass up. Kyrie eleison. Kyrie eleison. 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 That was my favorite piece of music. We had a nasty arrangement of the Star Spangled Banner too. I wish I had the a recording of it because it was so fire. Because it was a recording of it's sad that they're not doing the arts. That is true. That is true. And I was listening to one of my favorite episodes on his channel, Black Music Archives. And he was saying why your favorites can't sing. And he was saying the girls are not getting in their hours, honey. The girls are not getting in their hours. So he started the video off talking about it takes 10,000 hours to master something. And so what people didn't get is back in the day, your regular ass fucking church girl could sing because not only is she going to church and going to Sunday school and choir practice at church. She also getting choir practice at school. So throughout the week, she getting singing lessons after singing lesson from her church people and from her school people. So she's learning the classical, operatic, breath control and how to use your vowels, and the same thing in gospel, but they're adding the power and really getting your vocal cords strengthened and calluses, not necessarily calluses, but that kind of power build up. And the girls are not doing that no more. That's why these honey young folks is not giving you the vocals that we used to, girl. Because the girls are not getting their hours in. Yeah, you find your sound. That's how we get a Whitney. We get a nah. It ain't just school, honey. She had Sissy. She had Sissy in her house who has that kind of annoying. He recently did a video about Whitney in her younger years recently. And but Sissy got that annoying operatic voice that we hate in pop music. But it's cute in certain gospel songs, but she gave her the skills that she needed with her mezzo voice. You know, what you call it was a soprano. You feel what I'm saying? Um, Whitney was a mezzo soprano. So she had the richness, the low chest voice that we love, that she's known for. But she also could go up to that higher pitch and give you that kind of um the tenderness and girliness of that higher soprano that she would switch to. And she gets that skill from Sissy. But Sissy couldn't do the deep, dark, rich chest voice that Whitney could because of different voices. But it wasn't just school for Whitney's. It's how she had motherfucking Sissy in her house teaching her. And they're damn near not dancing, just standing there. Ooh. Yeah, I love that. But I'm also like, you ain't even got one of the reasons he don't know how to sing, but why I listen to him. Now he don't know how to sing live, but why I listen to him is because he has a unique sound. The girls don't even have a unique sound no more. You know who got a unique sound to me? Giveon. Is that his name? Giveon, whatever his name. I know he was shitty on the verses, but his recording sound is so unique. I really love it. And that's what I feel like we're missing in music now. The girls don't have too much distinct voices. I mean, I like SZA's voice. It's very distinct. I'm enjoying SZA. She's one of the ones that I'm enjoying as far as distinction. In her pen game, her writing is fire. Um, there's something about living with a teacher. I can harmonize with anyone on the spot because of you. Mm. Give Me On first album is everything. I still listen to it. Yeah, his voice is so different. It's so unique. I love that. I love it. That's my thing is you ain't even got. I'm not somebody who I know some people like if you hollering and screaming, then you really know how to sing. I'm not that person. Like I appreciate running. I appreciate power, but I think what I'm learning about myself is I am I appreciate people having a unique voice. Just a unique um Summer Walker. I think people like Summer Walker for the same reason that they like Keisha Cole. I think that certain songs that she has really lyrically connect with the people and she sounds okay. Um I think that I think she sounds okay and she has songs that connect with the people. It's like her. I don't find hers voice to be unique enough. I think it sounds good, but yeah, like Ari Lennox has a very unique voice. I don't think she sounds like Erykah Badu or Tweet or Fantasia. I don't think she sounds like any of them. But I do think that she sounds unique in the way that Fantasia, Tweet, and Erykah Badu sound, if that's what you mean. Unique in that way. I don't think she sounds like them at all, but unique where when I hear Fantasia sing, I know it's Fantasia. When I hear Tweet sing, I know it's Tweet. When I hear Erykah Badu, I know it's Erykah Badu. When I hear Ari sing, I know it's Eric. I like voices like that. Well, at least she's not a rapper. Oh, I like rappers. I like Doja. I like Tierra Whack. I like Baby Mother. Um, yeah. Tweet is one of my all-time faves. I like, you know what I love about Tweet? Tweet is Tweet is the antithesis of Brandy when it comes to background vocals. Which made me fall in love with her. So let me explain why. So Brandy's vocals, like her backgrounds, are extremely clean and intricate. Her background vocals are so layered and it's just a particular Brandy sound when it comes to her backgrounds that is so fucking dope. But they are clean, like the movements and everything is just clean, cut off. It's just clean, just perfect. Like, but Tweet, her backgrounds are clean in vocal, like the harmonies are clean, but how she ends harmonies, how she different parts, they're ending at different times. She'll give a little flicker if she's when she's singing. She'll flick the note up when she's singing soprano, the higher part. In the middle part, she'll do something else. There is a movement to her harmonies that are not in sync in the same way that Brandy's is. I like both of them equally, but at the time that Tweet came out, people were doing those clean harmonies, and Tweet was giving you backgrounds that were moving and um not just clean straightforward when the bottom top middle stop, they all stop. Tweet will give you an extra note in there at the end of a phrasing in her background harmony. They weren't clean. They weren't clean. Yes. But with one person. Tweet background has that open mic jam session where you're gonna hear exactly. That's exactly right. But it's just one person. You're gonna hear that top voice do something different than the middle voice, than the middle harmony. They're gonna be on when it comes to the harmony, what notes they're supposed to be on, but it may not end at the same time. And during the time that she comes out in 2001, during this time, it was a bunch of clean backgrounds. Can't cope with it. Smoking cigarettes tonight. You're the one who helped me quit. Or remember that one? No, I saw you go into a motel. What is it? The motel one. Her harmonies on Motel. They were so sloppy in a beautiful way. Sloppy in a beautiful way. Motel. I know cigarettes, but cigarettes was kind of clean. Not totally clean, but Motel was sloppy in a very beautiful way. And then you get another person that was kind of doing those. They weren't sloppy. They were taxi, take me to his home. Yes. What another day, 'cause I'm alone. Yeah, Motel, the harmonies on going to a motel. Yes. Um, what else? Who else was doing those? Hers weren't sloppy. Hers weren't beautifully sloppy like Tweets, but she was doing a little bit more movement in her harmonies. India Ari, she was doing it that little if I was a color, I'd be a deep dark forest green. If he was a car, he'd be a long stretch limousine with room for all of humanity inside. 'Cause he is so giving, he is so wise. Um, uh, I can't remember the little song, but if he were a song, he'd be a complicated melody, a complicated melody. And I can't remember the words. I almost have to sing it off key. I love that song. Yeah, they were coming in with the fire. Because it reminds me, it's old school. Because um, back in the day, the harmonies weren't because they were live, just singing it at the mic with like three people, da 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 da. They weren't clean like we would get in the 90s and 2000s with studio recordings. Because y'all like that, y'all remember that this is an old sample, but they resung it on Faith's album. Faithful to the end. He's a lover and a friend. That harmony is so sloppy but beautifully old school. Faithful to the end. Y'all remember that harmony? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? On Faith Evans' album. Faithful, faithful to the end. He's a lover and a friend. This one I'm gonna try to play. Hopefully it won't fuck up some shit. No, not that. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah. Faithful to the end. I had to play. I had to cut it off real quick. I think it's up to a minute. You can't play the whole minute. Faithful to the end. It really should have been a full song. I think it was a full song, the old version, but I think because she was an interlude, it just was what she was given. But I think the sample that they were using is a full song. Faithful to the end. I love that interlude. That's one of my favorite interludes. Faith. Oh, Faith is so sickening. Faith albums. We don't talk about Faith enough. Faith slays. Oh, honey. Her first album and that second album. She got some bops on each one of them. I remember the way you used to love me. You don't appreciate the time I put into this love affair. Oh, baby. I couldn't let you walk around thinking it's alright to let me down. What was the remix? Wow, I really took this love affair. Baby, I couldn't let you didn't hear me calling out, calling for your love, affection. After all this time, you can't deny what I feel. Come over. Won't you come over and make love to me? 'Cause I haven't seen you in a while. Really missed your smile. Oh, won't you come over and make love to me? Baby, I want you. Every time we're together, I feel a special part of me. Drawing me closer, closer to you, baby. I can't explain. It's just the magic that we share. Something between us two. Wait, what's the second verse? Sitting here. I always wanted to re-record this, but this part, sitting here in my window in her key, is high as fuck. Thinking of nothing but your face. Oh, baby, I try to remember how it used to be when you used to love me every day. I don't want to fight you, just want you to see that you are the one, the only one that's for me. Baby, let me show you there's no greater love. Baby, I love you for the things you do, and I want you to come over. Won't you come over, make love to me? Baby, I want you. That's one of my favorite songs, like, period. Favorite R&B songs, period, 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 period. Period, period, Kelly Price, Soul of a Woman album. It was a good album. I won't say it was a all the way through album for me, but she was singing her ass off on that. 7 whole days without a word from you. 7 whole nights. Can't take it no, can't take it no. Had enough for you. Is that you on my mind? On my mind. I don't know the words. How can you go? I only know the melody. I don't know the words. I gotta hear it for me to know if when she's singing it, I can grasp the words. But just singing it out my throat, I can't never remember the words. Had about enough for you. I could do just let go. Just let go, let it flow, let it flow. Everything's gonna work out right, you know. Baby, who thought they was Toni Braxton in high school? I thought I was Mariah Carey in elementary, but I quickly, after puberty, turned into Toni Braxton and Anita Baker. First thing Monday morning, I'm gonna pack my tears away. Got no cause to look back. I'm looking for me a better day. You know the thing about love is that it's not enough. If the only thing it brings you is pain. There comes a time when we must all make a change, darling. Just let go. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. What song? It's just another sad love song wrecking my brain like crazy. Yes, I'm all torn up, be fast or slow. It doesn't let go or change me. And it's all because of you. And love song. Here comes the strings, then somebody sings. Only takes a beat, and then it's like killing me, darling. This is the bridge. It only takes one note, I tell you, from that radio. It's just another lonely love song. Now, ooh, no love song. Yes, that's the bridge. I remember when they played the radio every third song. I loved that song. I remember, I don't know what they used to do on the radio. I remember when Shanice, I Love Your Smile came out. I was living in California and it was something happening. I was living in Southern California and it was something happening to where when you when you call in the contest, how the rules were, you get to um you get to choose a song and that song plays for the whole hour or something. So you call in and the song plays for the whole hour, the same song. So they had played, somebody had called and said, Shanice, I love your smile. So for the whole hour is on this one channel. And I love your smile. And it was, and everybody was requesting nothing but the jams, but they would play like hours. So it was Shanice, and it would be Shanice, and it would be baby, 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 because they all came out at the same time. I got so much love in me. Oh, baby, 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 baby. Baby, 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 baby. If you wanna give me you got to love, you got to dun, dun, dun. Y'all remember the box? The box where we from was around the same time. 92, 93 for me. What other Tonys? All the early Tonys kind of sound the same for me. The 7 Whole Days Tony, and it was, of course it was all Babyface, but it was they all had that same, they did a formula with Tony. Like what's the song? Love should have brought you to me last night. Do 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 do. Well, do 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 love should have brought you home last night. You should have been with me. Should have been right by my side, baby. If you got anything for me, love should have brought you to me last night. I can't remember the words. Remember, oh, I get so high when I'm around you, baby. I can't touch the sky. You make my temperature rise. That era reminds me of tell me if you want me to give you all my time. I wanna make it good for you. Boy, you blow my mind. I promise that I'll be true. Tell me if you want me to. Oh, what is sweetheart? Now it's time I let you know. Don't wanna rush it. We could take it slow. Give me a new beginning. I will teach you something. My love is that you want me to. I want to do. I want to do. I want to make it good. I want to make it good for you, baby. I don't know why. Oh. Bryce Wilson still does look fine. He does. But he's becoming assholish, arrogant assholish. Oh, well, I don't know, becoming. It's not like I knew if he was that before. Apparently he was. From his own mouth. Oh yeah, because the box, I remember Whitney Houston playing on the box so many times. I used to call in. I will always love you so much. All you seen was her sitting on that chair with that red lip. And he should stay. I used to be annoyed. So annoyed. Not that I didn't like Whitney. Whitney was sickening, but them playing it so much made me hate the Bodyguard album. Face as white as powder. Yes, God. You can see every little hair. Well, it is 1:30 in the morning, y'all. I'm about to take my ass to sleep because I got shit to do in the morning. Shit to do in the morning. Oh. I was gonna wear these today. I thought I was looking cute today. I was gonna wear these, but I don't know. The clear ones, this was a little, a little spice. But the clear ones, I don't know. The clear ones made you focus on the hat a little bit more. But I felt cute today. It was a whole little sexy bodycon dress. And a little thing. I'm like, hey, sweeties, what's y'all tea? What's y'all tea, babies? Sexy teacher vibe. Hey, honey, what's your tea? Hey, sexy teacher vibe. Tipping through. Getting snatched and snatched and snatched. Getting more snatched. I hit under 85. I haven't been. Yeah, I'm at when I got on the scale this morning, I hit 84. So hopefully to keep going. It's going slow, but I want to get to 250 or between 250 and 230. So we'll see. Because they said the average that you lose is like 100 pounds after surgery. So if I get to 230, that'll be 100. But I want to be like 150. But anyway, I will holler at y'all tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. On Thursday. We'll chat. Make sure y'all thumbs up, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.